Welcome to Lanterns Live. It's the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to Green Lantern. I'm Ralph, and we're doing a Tuesday Q&A today. Basically, this is going to be a free-form show. I'm going to be doing it a little bit longer, as long as people are here, which is, hopefully we can start getting people coming in because we got some Green Lantern stuff to talk about. And I know folks out there have questions about Green Lantern. So if you have any questions, throw them up in the chat, just to the side. We'll go over those. First and foremost, though, we have a new member of the Honor Guard, Tommy Jenkins Music, which you should give Tommy a follow. He's a good pal of mine, has been following me for years. Tommy is joined at the Honor Guard level. It's 99 cents a month here on YouTube. Just click the join button. You'll get perks like badges, unique emojis that are Green Lantern related. You'll also get members only posts, and you'll also get members only live streams once a month. So look forward to that. And if Tommy, since you're a new member, you can actually go back and rewatch old members only live streams. They're all available. So far there's 2 because the memberships have only been around a couple months. But I'll be back the first Monday of January for the next live one, which will be on the 5th. So there'll be another live stream. I'm not sure what it's going to be about yet, but we'll see. Chad's in the chat. Chad, you can join me if you want. This is going to be a real loosey-goosey show. If you want to join, you're more than welcome. Actually, let me just I'll send you an invite. You're more than welcome to join. You don't have to, no pressure. But if you're feeling up for it, I'm going to be chatting about Green Lantern. I'm going to talk about lanterns. I'm going to talk about Green Lantern 600, which I'm really, really excited about. And Kyle Rayner's 2026 outfit. Like, what are your thoughts on that? I'd really like to know. And then I have a question for everybody here. Anybody on Threads? If anybody's on Threads, I'm already blanking on his name. Who did the art for David Nakayama? Fuck, I already fucked it up. The artist who brought us this Kyle Rayner. Let's see here. So this is the new Kyle Rayner costume that we are looking at. What do you guys think? So for me on Threads, I sent him a message and asked him about the eyes, because as you can see, it's not just all white under the mask. And I asked about that because I was curious to know what it looked like, or if the artist tried to do it with the eyes white, because I think it looks a little weird when a Green Lantern has a mask and you can see their eyes through it, like their skin in their eyes. David Nakayama. I know that a lot of Green Lantern fans are not cool with the mask. I myself, I like the mask. I kind of dig it. It's not quite. I know people love Kyle's crab mask. I do as well. The statue behind me has that crab mask. Is this a better look at the thing? Yeah. But this mask is almost like a traditional Green Lantern mask with a little bit of the crab mask in there. It's really, really hard to see. Let me get another picture in here. Let's share an image file. Open up. And I forgot who did this art as well. I am a little unprepared today. Underprepared. Yeah, this one doesn't look right. That one doesn't look great. This one has a little more angles to it, so it kind of mimics the crab mask in certain aspects. But anyway, I asked David online. I'm like, have you tried to do it with the whites? And he responded to me, and I was going to bring that up for the show, but over on Threads, like that conversation like isn't there anymore. So if anybody knows about Threads, is that something that happens? Do conversations just get like deleted, like public conversations? Did I get blocked by him? I don't know what's going on, but I cannot find my conversation with him. But basically what David said was he envisions Kyle as looking like this when he's on Earth, but when he's out in space, they go over white, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because I like it, I prefer it with the white. Now, this is all for Green Lantern issue 33, which comes out in March. But in the grand scheme of things, it's Green Lantern 600. Look, Chad joined me. Chad, how you doing?
All right, man. How are you?
Doing great. Justice League Red number 5 comes out tomorrow, as does Green Lantern 30. And I wasn't about to do a show on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
So I'm like, tomorrow. Well, it'd be tomorrow. It's actually Christmas Eve, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, Christmas Eve. I'm like, well, I'll do a show then.
No, I was just posting about the latest episode of Lantern Cast going live, and I saw your post that you were going live.
Oh,
so I was like,
everybody go check out Lantern Cast. Go listen to that instead of this muck. This ill prepared. So like, I was at breakfast with my wife today, and I'm like, oh shit, I have a show to do today. And so I just tell my phone, hey, set an alarm for 2:30, so that when it goes off at 2:30, I'm like, oh, what was that alarm for? Oh yeah, I'm doing a show today. And I was playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and the alarm goes off, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right, I'm doing a show today. And there's no save stations. Like Metroid Prime 4 has a shortage of save stations, and it's like the only game in existence that still uses save points. And so I just put it to sleep, and I'm hoping by the time that I'm done and I get back to the Switch 2 that my game is still there. Because I've gone through like 2 mini bosses and like tons of like sort of big moments for characters, and I'm like, I don't want to go through this all over again at all. Chad, what's new? Are you excited about this Green Lantern 600?
You mentioned the eye mask and everything. Not a fan of seeing the eyes. I will say though, I kind of like the costume. Honestly, it depends on how it's shown in the comics. I think much like the trailers that you see for stuff these days, I wait to see the finished product. How does it look in action? How does it look, with everything else in the background? Like, because right now it looks really sharp, not a lot of, intricate detail. It looks, very sort of color blocky, but is that the artist style? Will it look better with him doing that same style on other characters and backgrounds and stuff everywhere else? Like that remains to be seen. But design wise,
Zermanico did the cover for 600, which I'm excited about. I didn't realize we were getting close to 600. Mm-hmm. And let me add this to the stage. And there's his version of Kyle in that outfit, and he's got the white eyes.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like. I like more. And it almost looks like he tried to crab up the mask a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Which I like, because I know a lot of people are like, he needs the crab mask. He needs the crab mask. For me, I like this design more than like the Ion design or.
Well, I like that Rebirth. It's almost mimicking the Ion symbol.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really, really like this design. Mm-hmm. Nothing's going to beat classic Kyle for me ever. Mm-hmm. As far as Kyle goes, I'm a massive Kyle fan. But I'm glad this has the sort of vibe. It's got the mostly black, and like Kyle has a lot of white in his uniform, more than other Green Lanterns. And so for me, I'm like, yeah, I think this is a fun redesign, a modern take. And I mean, Kyle's gone through so many outfits, including like a White Lantern one, which we were talking about, I think on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
So for me, as far as design goes, I'm totally cool with this. I like this way more than the sort of War Journal John design with like the go-go boots and the sort of stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, this works. It feels like it could be a little too busy, but I think in the right artist's hands, it'll look good. And this is just like a character sheet. So it's not really, you're not getting the insane detail that you normally would. Let me get another image in here from David Nakayama, I believe his name is. He added another image, which is going to be like his art style, which is this one.
Yeah.
You're getting a little more like shadows and lights and stuff. It's the mask doesn't bother me at all. I like that it's a little more angled, but I miss the white. I really miss the white.
I think the thing is though, like even some people decide to show the eyes on purpose. Like for Batman Earth 1, they decided to show the eyes for certain reasons. So maybe there's an artistic reason or in-story reason. And then I know, of course, it's also just like you just showed with Zermanico's artwork. It's going to be artist interpretation, whether or not they decide to do that or not. So will I like seeing it in the moment? Probably not. But I don't think I can judge the design based on the eyes alone because, again, it's going to be up to artist interpretation moving forward. So that can't be a factor.
What's funny is this is the cover I saw first, and there's a big, I'll have to find the full like double page front and back wraparound cover. And when I first saw it, it didn't even occur to me that Kyle was wearing a different outfit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Everybody's on it. I'm like, okay, John's back there. There's Carol and Kilowog. It's got like all the main players. I was excited to see Aya. Razor's a green, which, with solicits, they tend to not have completely accurate costumes because currently he's a red. Mm-hmm. But it didn't even track for me that Kyle was wearing a new outfit until I saw the artwork.
Yeah, well, because of this cover, the way he's faced, it's just you see the black, you see the white chunk, you see the stripe, and you're like, okay, that's Kyle's costume.
Yeah,
yeah.
But he's definitely wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And which usually he's got those like the finger
gauntlets.
There's
the fingerless gauntlet. Yeah,
I love it. But I mean, again, like I don't hate it. Like certain characters, like even looking at Carol now. She got that redesign around the time of New Guardians, where instead of it being skin, it's now black. I like that redesign. I think it's really, really good. So for me, I think it's. I mean, we got to get used to it, but it definitely doesn't bother me as much as John's.
Yeah.
John's stripes and the thigh high go-go boots with the stripes. Like I talked to Morgan Hampton about that a couple weeks ago, and he really didn't have too much to say. I mean, he's not going to badmouth
the artist,
but he said he just liked the more green in the suit. And he had mentioned, he's like, does John have the green boots? And I said, I think he does. But Morgan Hampton's such a fan of the Justice League animated series where he doesn't have the green boots. So I was thinking he might have been thinking of that version.
Yeah.
But it is weird when we get redesigns. It really is.
Yeah, it takes, there's a digestion period that goes along with them for sure.
Yeah.
I think with John's though, the stripes are meant to signify like military, right? It's there because that's how they signify rank in the military. So why not put some stripes on the military man? I think is the idea.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. The boots, though. The boots are a bit much. Like, I kind of like the way that Kyle has, like, he almost has, like, thigh-high boots, but they're only on the, just like on the sides.
Yeah. It's like he's got heels.
This looks like a nightmare to draw.
Yeah.
There's so many lines and so many different, like, angles and stuff that these poor artists have to, like, sort all that out.
Not as bad as my boy Ragman, but, yeah.
How? Because I love Ragman, but I haven't really followed Ragman in years.
Yeah,
like from page to page and panel to panel, it's not the exact. Is it the exact same?
It can be.
Or does it...
Some of the artists put that amount of detail in it. Others of them, you can tell sometimes when they do it digitally, where they make his body just like a transparent thing, and all the rest of the art stays the same, and then they just they click and drag some sort of a pattern and put it behind it. Yeah. So you can tell that sometimes, but I know, like Pat Broderick put a lot of work into it when he was doing it in the 90s with Keith Giffen. So it really just depends, but they can kind of like Jack of Hearts over at Marvel. I think there was a rumor, it might have been confirmed with some of the old heads from Marvel, that they used to charge more if they had to draw Jack of Hearts.
Have you had Pat Broderick on your show?
No, but I interviewed him for the blog that I do about Ragman a while back, and when I saw him at a convention, it was the greatest compliment. I told him about the blog, and he goes, "Yeah, I read it." And I was like,
"Oh, that's amazing!
That's the highest compliment so cool. ever." I didn't even fish for that. I was like, "Awesome!" Which
that's so cool.
Makes me feel guilty right now because I haven't updated it in forever. But
I asked Morgan. Was it last week or it's been 2 weeks? I think it's been 2 weeks. No, it was last week. Gee, time has been nuts for me recently. But I asked him, I'm like, "Oh, do you watch?" I know. I asked if he watched the podcast, and he was like, "I've caught some," and I'm like, "That's crazy." Hopefully, I wasn't ripping into him too much. I'm pretty easy going.
But I think you do the same thing we do. Like when we post, and we've been doing this 17 plus years at this point. So like, we've learned to not tag the creators when we post. Like we just posted today about Green Lantern Corps 11's coverage coming out. I wouldn't go tag Morgan Hampton in anything just because, if it's bad, why am I being like, "Hey, come listen to us dogpile on you"? And it's like, we're not going to do that. I just avoid tagging people in general unless I have like a question for them or whatever. So if they catch it naturally, then they catch it naturally, and that's fine. I always try to make sure that we're like, we're talking about the work. We're not talking about the person, but
I think I used to tag just to try to get some sort of like engagement and subscribers, because my socials are abysmal. My socials are just abysmal. My channel is great. I'm happy with the growth on my channel, but
it's hard to fight the algorithm.
I mean, but speaking of which, I mean, Tommy's here. You were here. Now you're actually here. Comics Jack is here. Liz is here. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
You're having a good time celebrating whatever it is you celebrate. I have a little Christmas tree here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these Hallmark used to release these little tiny ornaments. They're really small. There's no way. I just got this Superman. I need to get a hook for him.
I have Aquaman and a Green Lantern, the tiny ornaments of them on my tree behind me.
I have all the Justice League that were released, but then I saw something that Will did over at Green Lantern's podcast. I popped open I just have a box full of like Green Lantern stuff of toys. And so I took out all of my power batteries and like just put them all up on the tree.
All like the toy ones. I thought you meant like the Hallmark ones that came out a couple years ago that glow. Because I bought 3 of those and put them on the tree as well.
Oh, this nice. Is from I think the 12-inch DC Direct.
Yeah,
it kind of lights up. I'm sure I need to do fix the battery somehow.
I'm gonna see if this works, but
oh yeah,
Yeah, I put Hal in front of the battery, on the tree and all that stuff. So that's fun.
I'm thinking next year, because they stopped making those mini ornaments. And so I'm like, my tree isn't done yet. I have some Nintendo guys up there. I have Mario, Luigi, 8-bits, some Zelda, some Star Wars guys, but it's still like everything you see here is on this side of the tree facing the camera. The back half is like blank, but maybe I'll toss some rings that don't fit my fingers anymore.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Kyle Rayner promo ring and some of the Black Knight rings. And I wanted, like, I have like some mini mates and some smaller dudes. And then like I have like this dude under the tree. It's like a little wind up. Yeah,
I've been thinking about buying some of those like tiny little eyelet screws that you typically see on keychains. Like it's just a little eyelet and then a screw that goes in. So I can put things like shinks on the tree or something. Like maybe just buy a bunch of those for all the Green Lantern trinkets and turn them into ornaments. That's probably a better use for them.
Yeah. I could like
put
my
this on the tree though.
I have this version. It's the Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I have a friend. I don't think I've shown this, and I'm going to knock down all kinds of stuff getting to it.
No, don't worry about it.
Sinister's in the way. No, I want to show you this because it was a friend of mine in like 2010 or something went to Comic-Con and got invited to a like party, like a Warner Brothers party. Mm-hmm. And he got me one of these. The ring sits in there.
You showed this off before, yeah.
Yeah. And I've actually popped this open because the lights are the battery's real dim.
Yeah.
It's popping on green and but like I remember seeing these online. Like Kevin Smith posted one of these in like 2011. Like they got a case that said like Ferris Aircraft and they opened it up and there's some like dossiers and
it was like a promotional kit that went out, like a press kit.
I think like Seth Green also got one. But my friend Jorge got me this, and I've since bought it's like made of like paper and cardboard and cheap. It's like really cheap, and this little cylinder in the middle is held together with like tape. So
you might be able to modify it and turn it into something that's like powered instead of battery run.
Yeah, I think it could, because it's literally just like, I think it's like a AAA battery in there. Really easy to take apart. But I was doing I wanted to do a new profile picture for my thing, and so I busted out this ring because it has a nice shine to it. But
have I ever told you about this thing?
Yeah.
I forget who I told about this. Yeah, that's right. For those of you who are watching at home, this is just a regular kerosene oil lantern, whatever you want to call it. But it was purchased by Mr. Martin O'Dell, who created Alan Scott. And he had like 4 or 5 of these that he would take with him to comic convention. And if you've ever been to a comic conventions, the old guard don't really have the banners and the flash and the table stuff. So he would just put out his name card, and then he would put this out on there as his set deck for his thing. And the Nodell family, who are really, really great people, really great friends to all of us, really, lantern creators, and in one way or another, they sent me a couple of things along with one of the things that Martin Nodell used to take with him to comic conventions. So it sits on my desk in a place of honor every day.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, like I don't have any sort of thing like that. Like I don't have anything of like historical
significance. Hey, I didn't expect to have it either, but I'm excited to have it. But hey, I'm jealous of things. I'm jealous of the Kyle statue you have. I've wanted that forever, but I will never be able to afford it. But I am trying so hard to get places like X Studios to like send us review copies of this stuff, but they never do. It's like
they had, my wife bought that for me. She thought it looked really cool. I said, "Hey, check this out." Showed her on my phone, and she could tell that like I was like, it was one of those things like, man, if I had one of those, I'd be like the happiest boy in the world. And she ended up buying it, and I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah,
you're absolutely crazy. And then so I got it through a local place here over in Costa Mesa. I'm over in Anaheim, California. It's like, 10 minutes away. Spec Fiction, I believe, is the name of the company that was like selling it. And we got it through Spec Fiction, and it had arrived. Like I was watching for like a year or something. I was like refreshing my emails.
Yeah.
And it had arrived on like Wednesday at 3:00 in the City of Industry the day before Thanksgiving. And I had set it up to just go pick it up. I saved like $250 because I was doing a pickup order.
Right.
And I'm like, great. And so I was like, well, they're not going to be open Thanksgiving. They're probably not going to be open Black Friday. So I'm going to have to wait like 5 days to get this thing that I've been waiting so long for. And so my wife called them because I'm like, they probably close at 5.
Right.
I have like maybe like an hour and a half to get my ass to City of Industry on like the 5 freeway, which is like the busiest freeway in the world, on the day before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I need to try. And so I just left. I just left the door, and I told my wife, because she's the one that ordered it, I said, call me with their address and let me know if they'll stay open for me. And so I was already like heading up the 5 when she sent me the address. And then I popped that in. I was like, okay, I knew the basic direction I needed to go.
Right.
And I think I showed up there like at like 4:45 or something. And they were like, yeah, we actually were closing up early, but your wife called and one guy had something to do. So we're just like, yeah, just if you can get down here, do it. And they put it in my car, and the box is enormous. It's like the size of like 2 mini fridges stacked on top of each other. And just like the look on my face, I took a picture, like a selfie in the car, and you could see the Blue Lantern sticker that I have on my rear, my windshield. And I just, like, when I brought it home, she had to help me bring it up because I don't know how much it weighs. It's heavy. It's basically like, I'm a big guy. I'm a real big guy.
Yeah.
So from my head to my belt, like that's how big it is, because It's the quarter scale.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing a video just showing like what my desk is, because I'm always able to just like grab things in front of me, and like I don't have anything displayed, behind me except for the Kyle and the record player, and my camera got left out. So I was thinking about doing a video for next month for my my subscribers to go, so they can see what I'm looking at. Like I have access to like things like this.
Yeah.
I have access to, if you're a fan of old Star Wars, I have Bosk in a mini rig. Tommy Jenkins, who just joined, gave me this, sent me this in the mail, and it's one of my favorite things ever. It's a Wicket play phone.
Nice.
And it's just so bright and colorful. But yeah, so like I might do that and then show off the statue. I know you can go online to XM Studios and take a look at that statue.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
It's amazing. And on the side of one of the missiles, it says GL-51.
Nice
on it.
No, I've always wanted to that statue. You reacted to it the way I would react to finally getting Green Lantern Green Arrow 76 with him shooting the battery and saying no more, and all the start of the Green Lantern Green Arrow run, because I have every issue except Green Lantern Green Arrow 76, and I have the Speedy Does Drugs issue signed to me by Denny and Neil. but I still want Green Lantern Green Arrow 76.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So Green Lantern 76 has the shattering power battery.
Right.
Which looks very, very close because it's Green Arrow shooting an arrow through the power battery and it exploding, which looks very similar to the Lanterns HBO crew shirts, but it's an apple exploding. Yeah. And if you just look at the logo, whether it's Lanterns or whether it says Latitude, which is the secret code name, if you just isolate that logo, the Lanterns logo, it's exactly the same shape and sort of has the same sort of angle to it that run of Green Lantern Green Arrow has.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
Their
header logo.
I'm thinking Green Arrow has something to do with this show. I really do.
I hope.
Do
you want to pivot to that since you said you wanted to talk a bit about Lanterns?
Yeah, let me go through some questions here first because there's folks sitting around waiting for us. Yeah. Comic Jack says he digs the David Nakayama design for Kyle. I think I like it. What if the artist told you is true? On Earth he'll show his eyes, but once he said that. That's what he told me. That's what the idea was, whether artists went and ran with that. But my thing is this. Like, you really need the mask only for Earth.
Yeah, it should be the reverse, you'd think.
It should be the reverse. Also, I was looking at masks and I was looking at like Chandler's face and stuff. I'm like, it'll look weird on his face. And I think in the Green Lantern movie, say what you want about it, I think Ryan Reynolds looked better without the mask than with the mask in the uniform. So I kind of just like him. Do I need the mask? Like, Hal's the only one. Well, Kyle too, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm really anxious about this show. If they do the mask, I hope it looks good.
Yeah, I hope it all looks good. The rumors though about, because we saw the ring and Will posted like a real good very clear screen grab of the ring, and it's got the gold on it, but supposedly the rumors say that so does the costume, that the costume has like a medieval-esque look to it, and there's some gold incorporated.
They were saying he was hanging up in a closet, though.
Yeah, that's also something I thought was strange.
I wish they'd give us anything so that we can be relieved in the slightest. I think the 11 seconds was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like Hal looked like
for
John.
Not having any Green Lantern in it. Yeah.
Right. What do you think of that ring? What do you think of the ring with the gold in it?
I like it. I don't hate it as much as some people do. We were talking on Facebook or somewhere, and someone mentioned hating it, and then Jim, co-founder of the Lantern Cast, had said something in the thread about, well, what if it's the gold is there for an in-story reason? Like, you know, the yellow impurity is still a part of everything, so that's why the gold is a part of this. Supposedly the suit, definitely we know the ring. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't.
Here's the thing. People said that the gold, some people who saw the trailer said that the gold is in the suit as well. Possibly like a pinstriping or something similar to the ring. I think I'd be okay with that because for the longest time, back in 2010, there was one picture of Ryan Reynolds that was fan made. I'm sure we've all seen it, where it kind of had like a little bit of like concentric, like pointed triangle shapes. It looked like a cloth outfit, and he had a Green Lantern logo that had like, it was like a metal thing. I could probably find it pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm Googling it myself, trying to see what you're talking about.
And it was just one of those pictures that someone had made online. And here it is. I found it. And I thought it looked pretty good. And it would look so good that a lot of people would use it in like news articles and stuff, because we didn't have a real good look at Ryan Reynolds. So this was the outfit.
I just found it myself too. Yeah.
But if you look, like the Green Lantern emblem is gold, and there's like gold piping or silver piping. I always thought it kind of looked cool. Also, this mask looks better than what was in the movie.
Better than what's in the movie, probably. It still looks weird.
It looks weird, and that's the thing is, like, I think it always looks weird.
Yeah,
I think the way when it's drawn, like, I don't know, it always just looks better in the comics. I think domino masks and stuff work better in the comics. It's tough doing that bridge from the nose to the cheeks to sort of the eyes and temples. But I mean, listen, if this was exactly what Kyle Chandler's suit looked like, I think I'd be fine with it. I don't know about it looking like a t-shirt and pants, but if there's like that level of gold trim, I think that's okay.
Yeah, something subtler. Do you want to show everybody the ring?
Oh, let me grab a picture. Will sent
I think Will sent it, or Will posted it.
Will, also, if Will, you're still watching and want to join us, I sent you a message on Blue Sky.
I think he's busy.
Yeah, I try to text him, but like I'm getting bounce backs.
Did he block you? What an ass.
Yeah, no way. He's my main dude. Image file. Let's bring up that ring. And his dude that's working on his site and stuff is the one that got this image to this quality, and it's been everywhere.
Yeah. See, I like it. So I ended up buying the ring from the Superman movie because I said, if it takes place in the same universe, we haven't yet seen an image from the Lantern show, then this could very well be what they use in the Lantern show. So why not get it? I'm not mad that it's not the design they went with, because the thing I don't like about this, other than how kind of cheap it looks, is that the tiny gem in the middle just looks like it was glued on. But the gem, the crystalline structure of it is
I want to show people your ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the ring. This is the ring from the Superman movie that Guy wears.
Right.
And this is the version of it that you can buy for like $60 that comes in a size. The thing with it though is it just that, first of all, the transparency right there where you can see the metal band going into it, and then that silver circle with the tiny little green gem. It's just weird. I don't.
If you look at, they did a DC Studios, where DC did a short on Instagram and TikTok and stuff where they were showing like the Mr. Terrific hot girl and Green Lantern outfits.
Right.
And Guys, the actual prop used one actually looked more like this. It was a darker green.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the movie one. They're very similar.
Yeah, because they both have they both have the little pieces that go down the side. Yours is longer, but they both do that. But see, the thing I like about the Lanterns one is the fact that the green part seems to be all made of crystalline material, which would make sense, because if they're coming from Oa or Maltus or whatever the origins of it is, I always thought it made more sense that the green would be some sort of material that is, alien to our planet, that didn't just look like emerald, but it was capable of storing energy and so on and so forth. It's just, I think the gold, I don't know. I think there's too much of it. I don't know what I would change, but it looks like
stained glass.
Yeah. And I do like how like the ring part is sort of cracked and ancient, like it's worn down metal, because it's a lantern ring passed down from person to person. So I like how the ring itself looks old. So that's nice. Mm-hmm. I was curious though, because and Mark and I talked about it on our show, but then apparently leaks or something we're talking about. Is there one ring between the two of them? Because Hal puts the ring there. So unless he has John's ring and is saying, "Hey, John, this is your ring. I'm going to put it here and dive out of the car while I wear my own ring."
You know what I did?
Yeah.
Because we all assume that the one picture that's been around since February happens immediately after this car scene because they're walking. They don't have a car anymore.
Right.
And Hal has the ring on his finger, and it looks a little bit different than this. But as soon as this came out, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I think it's Hal giving up his ring to save John, but that doesn't make sense. John should have his own ring. And so I went back to that original picture, and I looked at Aaron Pierre's pockets to see if he just refuses to put his own ring on, and it's just in his pockets. And Hal knows it would take him too long in a car to dig a ring out of his pockets that he's like, nope, here, take mine. It'll work with you. But it's one of those things where it's a cool scene, and it definitely feels very Hal Jordan. Again, look before you leap, like trust that circumstances are just going to sort themselves out, like, and everything will be okay, because it always is for Hal. He's like the luckiest person in the DCU. But like, Green Lantern fans are going to see this and just be like, the only thing they're going to think about is, well, why doesn't John have his own ring?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, there was always in-story potential reasons, even if they have the one ring. Like, remember, Blackest Night, Ganthet taps into the rings and is able to create a duplicate of each ring for 24 hours or whatever. Right. So maybe Hal creates a duplicate of his ring for John to train with. I don't know. So
someone came up with a theory that I thought was really good. And that was that the Guardians are sort of pissed at Guy for joining Lord Tech and not patrolling the whole sector and just working for Maxwell Lord, and they demanded his ring power or his ring. They demanded his ring, and they were going to give it to John. And using all of his willpower, he kept his fist closed and refused to give up the ring. And it was like burning, and he was like fighting the will for this ring to leave his finger. And that's why he's giving like so many F-bombs, is because he's refusing to give up the ring that they deemed was belonging to John now. And now John's like, well, I'm like screwed. Now I don't have a ring. Who can help me with this? And maybe Hal Jordan's like, you know what? I'm ready to give mine up. If you want mine, you can have it, but you have to prove yourself. I'm not giving this ring to anybody. So I thought that was fun. It's a fun story. I don't know if it's going to happen, but just it's based on what little we know, like including the F-bombs and David Fillion having a scene with Aaron Pierre and maybe not Kyle Chandler. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sure, but I think it's funny that Guy would be that stubborn.
Look, I love Guy, but I don't think Guy has the power to outwill the Guardians of the Universe making a decree.
I don't think so either. But it was a fun idea, and it was one of those things where it's like, in a world where Lanterns has so little information about it, it was so fun to just be like, that's really fun, and let me imagine that story. I don't think it's going to happen, and it's not setting me up for any sort of disappointment by having my expectations be this thing. But I did think it was really funny. I thought it was a lot of fun. Will said he's actually working on something right now, which I'm excited about. So Will's not going to be able to join us. But if there's any other Lanterns guys out there that want to chat, my cat wants to chat. Usually one of these helps. Oh, she's got it. All right. Let's go through. Jeremy Kelly says, can't stay long. Just wanted to say hi. What's up, fellas? Says Hunter Iggy. Not much. Okay. What's your thoughts on Captain Atom going to be introduced in Creature Commandos Season 2? who would you want to show up as a hero / villain? You have any thoughts on Captain Adam showing up?
Captain Adam's an interesting choice. I don't. First of all, I haven't seen Creature Commandos. I refuse to pay for HBO Max until it's time for Lanterns, because when they started the service, they kept raising the prices and yanking content off of it, and it pissed me off. So I said, I vote with my dollars. I'm not going to give them my money. Like, how hard would it have been to keep like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and the Green Lantern animated series just available? Just keep it on there. But they took stuff down.
I mean, listen, a lot of people hate this Netflix thing, but I have a feeling Netflix wants as much content as they can, and they'd reinstate those shows.
Here's hoping.
But
so I don't have the context of what the show looked like. I would love to see it. Hopefully I know physical media is dying, but I still love Blu-rays. I hope they come out with some sort of Blu-ray release so I can watch that stuff. Even if not, once Lantern starts coming out, I'll have a subscription for that time. So then I'll watch Creature Commandos then, just to get the most bang for my buck. But so I can't speak to fitting in there, but I like Captain Adam. I think it's an interesting choice. I just like that they're choosing weird things. Hold on a second. My oven is beeping. I got to take something.
Oh yeah, go for it. I have zero like context for Captain Adam. I don't read a lot of DC books. And so for me, like, I'm not super familiar with Captain Adam. And I like that James Gunn brings in these sort of lesser known characters and sort of shines a light on them, so to speak. Like Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man was basically, I thought of as a joke. He would show up in like animated series and stuff as a joke. And then David Dismalchin, who, ended up bringing Polka Dot Man to life, really like made me like feel for the character. So for me, even though I'm not super familiar with Captain Adam, I'm totally ready to learn more. With Creature Commandos, super easy read, or not read, super easy watch. Mm-hmm. So whenever you do sign up for Lanterns, you could probably knock it out in a day. I think they're fairly short episodes, and they're real easily digestible. They're not like, it's not like you're trying to read like Watchmen or anything like that. Like it's comfort food for sure. And it's very James Gunn. So I actually haven't finished it. I watched like the first like half episodes in like a night. I just haven't revisited it. But by the time season 2 comes out, I'll be excited. And as far as villains showing up, if you give me any Green Lantern villain, I'm going to be happy.
It would have to be something weird and off the wall, right? So like
Dr. Polaris or
Goldface or Man in the Iron Lung or something.
One of my favorite go-tos is the Bottler. Appeared in one issue. He had an orange and yellow suit with a bottle on his chest, but he would throw bottles with different like chemicals in it that would do different things. And it was just one issue. It's
like his met with chemical Molotov cocktails.
Basically. And his story, like, it revolves around him being jealous of like Hal Jordan, but not knowing that Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. It's one of those Silver Age mix-ups.
Oh yeah, of
where
course.
Little does he know I'm also the Green Lantern, and it's like he says it, and they show him saying it out loud.
There was that one issue back when where like Hal fell asleep and his subconscious accessed the ring, and I forget I think turned Tom into a seagull.
Sure. Man, like, it's so funny to me I love reading Silver Age because it's like, it usually for me puts things in perspective where it's like, man, it's amazing that we're getting to like the 600 issue of Green Lantern, and that like the stories that like Jeff Johns created. A friend just gave me this, which I haven't read yet. And I'm excited to read. Like there's so much stuff that's evolved, but it's crazy to me that it took so long for somebody to be like, okay, so there's Green Lantern and Sinestro has a yellow ring. well, if there's a Green Lantern Corps, why can't there be a Yellow Lantern Corps? Like it baffles me that it took so long for the stuff that Jeff Johns came up with to come to fruition. Like Silver Age, like you have Tom as a seagull, like that's the story they came up with. Even though like it's established, like you can go to outer space and do whatever you want in outer space. But no, Tom's a seagull.
No, I heard, you know who so Shag funny. Is, right? Shag. Yeah. Yeah. So Shag over at the Fire and Water Podcast Network, they did an episode recently on Two True Freak. No, something I forget. I'll have
Two Truths and a Lie.
No, I'll have to find it at some point. But anyways, so I can give them proper credit. But they were doing a Kyle Rayner retrospective and talking a little bit about how each of the two of them got into Green Lantern. And Shag was talking about how as a kid, and he's easily 10, 15 years older than me, and I'm 38. He was talking about how he was a kid and would run around pretending to be the Blue Lantern because blue was his favorite color. So like even kids were thinking about that kind of stuff back then. So yeah.
It's and Jeff Johns, like, I mean, I don't know. People don't like him for some reason. I think he's great. Especially as far as Green Lantern goes. I should reach out to him. I don't know if he'd still be willing to chat about Green Lantern.
I've tried so many times and I can't get a hold of the guy. But yeah. I'm sorry. It's Once Upon a Geek, and then there's no episode number, but it's December 14th release, all about Kyle Rayner.
Oh, so just like last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thought that went into these Green Lantern cores and how each ring sort of interacts with other rings and how like a blue lantern can squash a red lantern pretty good. Almost like, like rock, paper, scissors, the whole rock, paper, scissors of it all, where certain things beat other things. It's so thought through, and just the way it was like laid out and presented was just, it's so good. It's so good.
Did you ask, and forgive me, I haven't watched the content yet. Did you ask Morgan Hampton if, because all the Lantern cores are on Oa now, if we'll see a return to how the powers interact with each other?
I didn't, but I think I did bring up that I appreciated it. I'm not the biggest fan of Ellie. It's such a weird concept, but I told him like, I definitely prefer her just sticking around on Mogo. But as a Blue Lantern, I thought that was an interesting idea. And he went over that concept and how he had that concept for a while of like a living construct, which we've seen with like Glomulus and stuff. I think Glomulus is somewhat sentient. So the idea of a Green Lantern construct getting a blue ring, I found really, really interesting because of the way they interact. I mean, she's got to be pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, but I hope they don't, make her a way too powerful character just to come in and save the day.
I told them, I said, I kind of like where she is with Mogo, because I said I don't really care for the character. I said, you're making it more interesting by giving her a little more purpose and something to do. But, I'd rather see St. Walker or Brother Worth or anybody else, on that council.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Ellie. But I'm like a 48-year-old dude with no kids. And it's like, I don't like kids showing up in my stuff. I don't need a tag along. So, and then we got two of them. And I'm not the biggest fan of Callie either. But,
Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of Simon, but every Lantern is somebody's favorite. So if you like him,
Simon,
good for you.
Yeah, for me, Simon, I loved in Sam Humphrey's run. His interactions with Jessica and stuff. I connected with that book. Was it Green Lanterns?
So I didn't like. I had a problem with the beginning of Green Lanterns because they made Simon an ass to make Jessica more appealing. he was very judgmental and rude and dismissive of Jessica and so on and so forth. And it was only later they built the more brother-sister relationship and them caring for her and her being introduced to his family and sharing morning pancakes or whatever and all that stuff, which was great. But at the beginning, they really sacrificed Simon's very little character development up until that point just to prop up Jessica, and then tried to retroactively go back later in the series and make him more likable. And I was just like, damage done. I already didn't like the guy to begin with. My big problem with Simon, though, is that writers keep giving him special things and never explaining it. He had Emerald Sight because he's the only one who'd be able to see the future through Emerald Sight. Never mind that Hal just sort of had a vision of the future just a minute ago in the series. And then he was able to heal his brother and bring him out of the coma, which like Chip was like, nobody's ever been able to heal a physical ailment like this. And then at the end of Thorne's run, he was like able to access the lantern crypts and the departed lanterns, and their souls were around him. And now that's gone. So like all these special things they do that only Simon can do that they never elaborate on and we never see again.
Right. And that's the problem, is there's too many characters. And I'm not one of those guys who just yells about, oh, there's too many Earth Lanterns.
That's true.
I think with Jeremy Adams, him creating a sort of reason why there is with the lantern power battery on Earth and stuff with Amazo, which we haven't been back there in a while. I thought, okay, at least that's interesting and it gives sort of a purpose to everybody. But also these guys are like shuffling way too many characters. When Ellie, I thought Ellie died or dissipated or whatever in issue 11, I'm like, okay, good. They're starting to sort of thin the herd. And then nope. Nope, she's back. And then with Simon, I feel like this whole bit of business with like the Gauntlet and Krona and stuff like that is probably buying them time to sort of figure out all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine because he's over in Justice League Red, which I'm enjoying him over there. They're still treating him like he's a brand new like Green Lantern who doesn't know anything. But again, we all know that he's got special abilities. I'd be fine with thinning the herd. I mean, it was great back when there was like 4 or 5 books going on at the same time. Like there's Green Lantern Corps, Red Lanterns, Green Lantern New Guardians, and there was like a Sinestro mini series. And then like, that's fine. If you can start splitting these guys off into different books, that's great. I'm all for reading more Green Lantern, but
4 legs on a table.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Wasn't the reason
I don't think
before...
Kyle wasn't in the last issue of Green Lantern or Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, wasn't the reason before Jeremy introduced the power battery under the Earth? Wasn't it because Earth was a keystone planet in the multiverse, so it needed more protecting or something like that? Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get back to that. Again, like they have, like, here's the thing too, is like, what was it, issue 3 that he already had to do some crossover event, some DC like big event, was it
Night Terrors?
Night Terrors? Oh. And then like there's always this shit that comes up, and I'm just like, you guys, like, let these guys do their books, you know? Like Jeff Johns didn't have to deal with that. Jeff Johns created the crossovers that were coming off of Green Lantern.
That's true. Well, he had to deal with it a little bit with Final Crisis, although I think if we look at it, Final Crisis Rage of the Red Lanterns one-shot special, which is my first regular issue, what I got into everything in order, that had nothing to do with Final Crisis.
No, it was the next issue of Green Lantern. And what's nuts is like, I use Comixology. And so if I am rereading Jeff Johns' run, you have to remember where to go to get that Red Lantern story. Because there's no like ultimate reading order for that thing.
I'm pretty sure it's right after Secret Origin.
Yeah, because it's set up atrocious. I kind of hope Secret Origin is a template for this Lantern show.
That would make sense with the rumors that Black Hand and Atrocitus are supposed to be in it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm real fine with that. Do you have any do you think we're going to get that close to it? Because it feels like Hard Traveling Heroes meets Secret Origins based on the info.
Maybe. I have a hard time these days trying to put expectations on the adaptation of these comics into live action or animation. Maybe I have a little bit more leeway with animation, but specifically live action, I've sort of abandoned the idea of them ever adapting straight up anything anymore, just because those stories have been told perfectly, which is why we own them and love them so much. So they're sort of setting themselves up for failure if they ever try to one of these original comic stories on live action. And even if you do that, you're setting yourself up for further failure because the fans aren't going to like it anyway because you have to shorten it for time. You didn't do A, B, C, or D, so why bother? So as much as I would love to see, Emerald Twilight on the screen as is, and or Emerald Dawn or friggin' anything for that matter, fully adapted, I don't think it's realistic for me to expect it or want it because they're creating their own universe. And what worked for us in the 60s and 70s or whatever era we adapt to isn't going to work in whatever era we eventually get another live action adaptation of something. So it's got to be more relevant to the times,
we never in the books never really get a lot of John's father in the stories. And John's father plays a role in the series. We know that there's a version of John's father being played by a younger actor and a person playing his father by an older actor. And so for me, the only reason you do that is A, so you can kill him off. And then B, have it mean something by having that character come back as a Black Lantern. I don't fully understand why we're getting flashbacks to John. And it sounds like we're getting flashbacks to Hal as well. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking I'm so leaning towards Blackest Night, and I feel like it's crazy to just come out of the gate swinging like that. But I feel like you got to be pretty bold.
Blackest Night is admittedly at its root, is a fairly adaptive storyline because the idea of dead people coming back and so on and so forth is really something you can widely play with instead of straight up adapt and be like, we've built the universe for 50 plus years and now we have all these characters to pull from and blah, blah, blah. So now you're seeing the Rainbow Raiders as the zombies and, all that. You can really just say any dead people and it doesn't have to mean anything, or dead people that show up could be Easter eggs because you saw, that zombie's wearing such and such a costume that looks like, I don't know, Red Tornado from the JSA with the Ma Huckle with the the pot on her head, whatever. So, but I don't know if it's true about them going into his dad. See, that's the thing. I haven't read early John Stewart stuff enough to know if his dad was brought up too much because as far as I know, it was always his mother. He was focused on his mother and the way her involvement in his life. And I'm not just talking about war journal stuff. Her being a civil rights leader and stuff like that. So, or somebody really fighting for that stuff. So I don't know. It may be hard for them.
Yeah. Zombies of Blackest Night will work because you care about them. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If it's just random zombies, that's crazy. But if you set up this relationship with John, and his father, a character that people aren't going to be like, how dare you do dirty to John's mom? it's cool that I think you'd be able to set that up in like 8 episodes. KC says the mini trailer was good. My concern is that they ignore Hal's history and transfer it on to John. That's something that scares me. Is there's a few years ago they released an animated movie called Green Lantern Beware My Power.
Yes,
and I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Yeah,
I like the art style, but I hated it. And I'm all for adaptations. Like, cool, go for it. I need to revisit Absolute Green Lantern. It's just, for me, it's just like, I don't understand what the purpose is of doing this weird alternate version with characters I like and changing everything about them. Like, that might be fun for some people. I heard it got good. So I definitely want to check it out. And I'm a Green Lantern channel, so I should probably pick up the trade, because the trade is out, I think, now. And I've been saying once the trade's out, I'll finish it up. For me, like, they did Hal so dirty in that, where like I was mad. I'm like, I know this is just an animated thing, and I enjoy First Flight and I enjoy Emerald Knights. I watch those frequently just because it's Green Lantern stories that I could just look at and watch. And Green Lantern animated series is great, but that Beware My Power, I remember pre-ordering it and waiting for the day where it just dropped, and I was just like, oh, this isn't good. So
the whole Tomorrowverse was that's that era of DC animated Tomorrowverse. They had 3 parts for Crisis and still screwed it up. So,
Yeah. Curtis says Blacklist Night means Blue Lantern Flash. That's the thing. Okay. I don't like. I feel like we can get like inklings of Blackest Night, but I don't think they could do it fully.
That's why
they have to introduce.
Yeah, that's why I said like, would I love to see them straight up adapt things on the screen? Yes, but they set themselves up for failure if they do, because of what, like Curtis said, people like Curtis are expecting Blue Lantern Flash, and that's going to be a demerit against it if Curtis doesn't get Blue Lantern Flash. So like, if you try to straight up adapt, you're going to already set yourself up for failure, as opposed to creating your own stuff, maybe picking a little here, a little here, a little here. But it's got to be something unique, or a hodgepodge that makes sense, or something, in order for it to have any chance of success. Because otherwise, it's going to have critics straight off the bat, no matter what.
Yeah. And Highball says if they make Hal into Parallax, and it doesn't hit at all because we don't know this version of Hal. That's a thing too. I've kind of been wanting. This is what I've been wanting, because we know we're getting like a little kid Hal Jordan, which I'm assuming we're going to see Martin Jordan's death all over again. I wouldn't mind seeing them casting somebody as Hal in his heyday, and then have him, if they haven't become Parallax, do that for season 2. But it happens. Hal dies, whatever. Hal becomes Spectre. Hal does whatever. He takes off. But I would like to see a rebirth with the person they cast as young Hal, and have the rebirth come back as that young Hal, who's now the same age and on the same level as like John, is like age-wise. And then they could just... Great.
Yeah, maybe.
Great. It's who knows. But I know a lot of people are like concerned about Kyle Chandler's age. When I watched the 11 seconds, I didn't think anything. I wasn't like, man, that guy's old. But also, speaking of Pat Broderick, Kyle Chandler looks about the same age as the Pat Broderick drawings in Green Lantern #1 in 1990. That Pat Broderick drew wonderfully. That's all we'll say about that. But he looked like that, and we've had so many stories with Hal Jordan losing the gray, and going through Sinestro Corps War and stuff like that. I'm wondering if this will be post Sinestro Corps War, because they already talked about Sinestro being a former Green Lantern. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to see them yellow so bad.
And I talked about this on a recent episode, but I was talking about how like I understand where people like Myron are coming from, who are not happy with Hal's age and are just out of this project because of that. Because Hal is not just Hal is not just, Green Lantern is not just personal to Myron. Hal is his story,
right.
What he means to him personally because of the stuff Myron's overcome in his life and stuff like that. So like, I get it, but at the same time, if I think about it, like, okay, they made the decision to make him the age that he is, and they made the decision to feature John. As a Green Lantern fan, not just a Hal fan, not just a John fan, whatever, as a Green Lantern fan, do I want this work to suffer because they didn't give me the Lantern I would prefer at the age I would prefer, telling the stories I would prefer? No, I'm a Green Lantern fan. I want to see John done expertly. I want to see Guy nailed. I want to see Hal, Carol, I want to see it nailed. I want to see the mythos. I want to see the power display in a CGI way that makes just crazy amounts of sense. I want it to look, I want to be awe-inspired when I watch this TV show. And do I want to hate it because they didn't give me exactly what I wanted? And I'm not saying that's where Myron's coming from. But I just can only hope that they have made the decisions they have made for a reason. And outside of their end game, everything else is adapted as faithfully as we could ever want it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I want the show to be awesome. And by all accounts, according to the people who are making it and who needed to make money and get subscriptions, are saying it's awesome. I understand where those sources are coming from. But like, I really enjoyed the Watchmen series. I thought it was a great show. And again, it was taking those characters that we liked, making their ages older, and telling a continuing story. Would I love to see Hal in his prime? Absolutely. Doesn't mean we're not going to. We know we're getting flashbacks. It's Damon Lindelof who did Lost. He did flashbacks. He did Watchmen. I trust him with this stuff. Mm-hmm. I think he can rein in Tom King and Chris Mundy and the writers and really get a good writer's room going for the project. He's a Green Lantern fan. I know this because I did a documentary about Lost, and when Lost was premiering, when it premiered at Comic-Con in 2004, summer of 2004, he was seen signing posters after the screening, and he was wearing a Green Lantern shirt. And keep in mind, this is pre-Jeff Johns. I think it's pre-Rebirth, 2004.
Yeah,
so 2004 definitely. Yeah, so he's definitely like there's a lot of Green Lantern fans out there that came in because of Rebirth and what Jeff Johns did and the movie and the TV show and the animated stuff and Justice League with John. But I really think that Damon is going to be the one like that a lot of this hinges on. I think he's going to be the guy that's like molding it so that it's a little more comic accurate and a little more if you are adapting different stories from around Green Lantern's history, that he's going to figure out a way to make it all work. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be hard traveling heroes, but we're going to get that feeling of it based on this like True Detective sort of vibe. But I'm really hoping that HBO isn't just trying to get regular people on board. I'm hoping Damon, Tom King, and Chris Mundy are there to make sure that the Green Lantern fans are also happy. Like I don't care. I don't care if the regular people are happy and they think it's a great show like True Detective. I need to see some freaking glowing rings. I need to see some power batteries. I need to see some outer space. There's talk of Guardians showing up, and if you're showing Guardians, then it's like, listen, it's not going to be True Detective.
Yeah.
So like, get on with it. Like if they're marketing it like that 11 seconds, it's like, it looks like a TV show, but Green Lantern fans know what this is. A regular person doesn't know what that ring is.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Just I'm hoping they pull a bait and switch on the normal people. And the normal people come in and I'm like, oh, this is a really intriguing mystery. And then they get sucked into this galactic thing.
Yeah.
So, backstory is relevant. I agree. We should know Hal's relationship with Carol too. Yeah, with Sinestro, Kilowog, Justice League, and Barry. That's the thing, is like, this DCU is brand new. And right now we just have a Justice gang. But the thing is, like, I'm excited for like Aaron Pierre to show up in Man of Tomorrow. I don't see why he wouldn't. Yeah. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we'll get this, you know, issue. We're going to get this 8 episodes of Lanterns, and it'll introduce the world to the first ever live action Jon Stewart. Kids who were around in the 90s are now parents. They're going to know John from the Justice League. That's great. And as much as like, I understand where Myron's coming from as far as like his love of Hal Jordan, like I get it. But I mean, like John was kind of, I know he's not like the best like selling comic out there. Like he's not the best selling comic character. But in 2011, when Green Lantern was released and they announced Ryan Reynolds, I went on Twitter and it said, I thought Green Lantern was black. You would see it everywhere. You would see it everywhere. That's because John was fresh in people's minds. Those are the kids that grew up with Justice League. Morgan Hampton, his favorite is John to write because he grew up with Justice League. And so it's one of those things where, for me personally, I'm just glad we're getting a Hal Jordan at all.
Yeah.
And it's not like Beware My Power.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. Action Comics #1 was published in 1938. So that means next year it'll have been 88 years of this universe being published with stories and stuff like that. So 88 years, like, yes, Hal's relationships with Carol and Thal and Kilowog and so on and so forth are important, but they have chosen to focus on John. That's what it seems like. And that we believe, all of us have collectively just decided that they're ushering Hal off somehow. And that John's just going to be the main guy. They may not do that, but we've decided that we're probably heading that way. If we try to spend the time to focus on Hal's relationship with all these people so we can get our satisfaction of seeing Hal's relationship with Carol properly displayed on screen, same with Kilowog and so on and so forth. We're spending so much time on that, we're not developing and connecting with the character of Jon Stewart, who we're apparently going to focus on moving forward. So we have to spend time developing his relationships and so on and so forth. As much as I agree. I want to see Hal. I want to see those relationships, but they have decided that that's not who they're moving forward with. So do I want, again, at the end of the day, do I want everything else to suffer if I'm not getting what I want? No.
Right.
So
also one of the things that it drives me nuts, and everybody has their opinion, but with Myron, he's not watching the show, which is to me is insane. He told me, he said, I'm not watching the show. Phil's going to watch it and let me know if it's okay to watch. And I'm like, dude, like, just go enjoy it.
No, it's okay. Hal is something extremely personal to Myron.
But even if you get like 2 seconds of Hal Jordan, don't you want to see Hal Jordan on screen? Like I like watching like the Duck Dodgers episode with Daffy Duck as the Green Lantern,
Lantern.
Like Kevin Smith plays Hal Jordan for like 2 seconds in that, and it's like, great. As a Green Lantern fan, we don't get a lot of Green Lantern stuff. We had it really good in like 2008 to 2011. Like it was really, really good stuff. And then Ryan Reynolds happened, and he won't shut up about it. And we're finally getting back. Nathan Fillion, I think, knocked it out of the park as Guy. We've already seen him in 2 things.
Peacemaker and something else, I forget.
And Superman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's like one of those things where I'm just like, every person knows that I'm a massive Green Lantern fan, and every person who went and saw Superman sent me a text message after saying Green Lantern was so fun.
Yeah.
I got so many texts. I'm like, oh, we're so close to getting back to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how could you just not? Like, I get that there's like somewhat of a protest there, but at the same time, like, Hal Jordan, like, it's Hal Jordan. He jumped out of that car. It's as Curtis said, old men don't jump from moving cars. He felt like, listen, I understand that he's now 60, but dang, like, I feel like a little kid right now, and I'm 48. I'm pushing 49 in a couple months. And like, listen, I don't give a crap about age. That's for young people. Let young people bitch about old people, but us old guys, like, I'll take an older Hal.
Yeah,
it happened in 1990, and it's just like, dude, like, this is the biggest thing to happen to Green Lantern since 2011. Like, and that was an issue. That wasn't perfect, to say the least. But
I'm going to be very, very transparent here. I just to build on what you were saying. I'm a very, very self-deprecating person, to the point where a lot of self-hatred and stuff like that going on, the things that we all overcome at some point in our lives. Yeah. And it just has taken me a little longer. I just realized the other day, I'm fully 38 years old. I just realized the other day that I don't need anybody's permission to be happy. I don't have to wait to be happy. I don't have to wait until I lose weight to be happy. I don't have to wait until I find my significant other, my wife, whoever that may be in the future, to wait to achieve the level of happiness that I want. I don't have to wait or ask for permission from anyone to be happy. And that sounds like the most simplest thing in the world, but it takes forever for those sorts of lessons to sort of lock in, as opposed to just be something you peripherally know in your life. And it just locked in for me just the other day that I'm allowed to be happy. And I just thought that the other day with relation to everything that's going on with the DC universe. And that's a very, unimportant in the grand scheme of things thing to apply that to. But looking at the Superman movie, Superman was happy. He fought a big weird creature. We saw apes, super intelligent apes that Lex Luthor had designed to what I could see Monsieur Mallah or whomever in the future in this universe. We got a freaking metamorpho on the screen. We got Guy Gardner with a bowl cut. Like, holy crap. There's so much to be excited about. Yeah. So like I am starting to learn that will I be critical about things? Sure. Absolutely. That's what I do. But I refuse to look for things to dwell on anymore. I'm done. Yeah. That's why I keep saying I'm going to wait till the product comes out. It's because that's the only thing I have to judge it on, is what the actual thing looks like and what they actually do with it.
So I was born in 1977. A movie came out that year that I fell in love with growing up. I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater. I saw Jedi in the theater first weekend, first run. And for 17 years following that, there was no Star Wars. There was a couple Ewok TV movies. There was a couple of cartoons, but there was no Star Wars. And then the prequel came out and everyone was bitching and moaning. And then people, like, I was like, they weren't as good as the original. But listen, there was 17 years of my life being a massive Star Wars fan where there wasn't any Star Wars. And so now, like, I enjoy The Acolyte. I'm not the biggest fan of The Mandalorian. I think Andor is an amazing piece of art, but there's always something in any one of these shows that I'm like, man, you know what? I love lightsabers. And for like 17 years, for a major chunk of my life, I never thought I would get to see another lightsaber again. And here we are. And so why bitch and complain about it? And when, we finally have it. So for me, it's like 20 years ago, or just over 20 years ago, the X-Men were afraid to have colorful uniforms. It was so afraid, and they all wore black, and they made a joke, oh, do you prefer yellow spandex and Wolverine, like that whole thing. For me, seeing Superman, and people can say what they want about the costumes. I don't care. Mr. Terrific was on the big screen, and that's nuts. And for James Gunn and this whole thing, again, to make Polka Dot Man a sympathetic character is crazy. To make Peacemaker, who, listen, unless you're collecting comic book cards in the 90s, like no one gave a shit about Peacemaker for like the last 40 years. And to make a full, 2 full seasons of pretty entertaining stuff with a major celebrity going out of his comfort zone and doing some really high drama stuff. Say what you will about the show, it's a miracle that it happened to begin with. So if there are those Peacemaker fans out there, it's like, wow, they got a chance to see their character come to life on the big screen and then 2 seasons of a show. So for me, with Lanterns, the fact that they mentioned Chip in the trailer that they showed in Argentina, even if they don't show Chip, the fact that Chip is mentioned on an HBO series is like, I'm there. I am so there. And I'll have 0 complaints. So I don't care if Hal is being played by the oldest man on the planet. If it fits the story.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Star Wars, I don't have the same connection to it people of your generation do. But I will say, it's so funny you said that, because last night I was watching stuff on YouTube, as I typically do on my TV, and I was like, no, I'm in the mood for a movie. I thought Star Wars, but then I put on The Force Awakens. And say what you want about that later trilogy, and especially how it ended up wrapping up. But The Force Awakens, man, I like that movie. It was a total. It was so much fan service, but I could not help but sit there and just be like, this isn't bad. Like when they're running for the ship, and she's talking about how we've got a pilot, and then the TIE fighters shoot it, and she's like, the garbage will do, and they turn around and then there's the Millennium Falcon, and you're like, holy crap, and the music kicks up, and I'm just
you tear up. I always get goosebumps. I saw Force Awakens a lot in the theater. For me, I was of the generation that liked the original trilogy, didn't really care much for the prequels, which I've come around. I've done a 180 on that. I really, really enjoy the prequels. But by the time I got to Force Awakens, Disney had a lot of goodwill that they needed to muster up with fans, and so they went safe, but they gave us comfort food, and I love comfort food. They gave me a big old chicken pot pie with cornbread and rolls and mashed potato. It was the most comfort food. It's all of my favorite things from Star Wars. I like Death Stars and TIE fighters and X-Wings and lightsabers and bad guys in masks and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo. It was all the comfort food.
Yep.
The Last Jedi for me, which I loved anything involving Luke, Rey, and Kylo Ren. The rest of the stuff I didn't care for that much, but it felt like maybe it was kind of more sophisticated. Maybe it was like a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't care for the sides that much, but the steak, the main dish of the meal. I didn't like my asparagus. I don't like corn or whatever, but the steak, the real meat of the movie, I really enjoyed. And then I gotta be honest with you, The Rise of Skywalker is fucking junk food, and I love junk food. And it was just do you want Nerds ropes and Twix and a chunky bar and ice cream and milkshakes and just all the just junk.
Yeah.
All this bad for you, not good junk, and you just want to be hyper for 2 hours. That's The Rise of Skywalker, and I kind of ate it up. As a kid in the theater, to get to see more Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And like they even brought Han Solo back and Princess Leia. They resurrected and gave me poor Princess Leia. And like, for me, it is not a good movie, but goddamn if I don't eat it up when I watch it. And I'm like, this is crazy. Every single thing, when they say like the dead speak is the first line of the crawl and like Palpatine's back. And yes, there's the whole somehow Palpatine return, but if you watch The Mandalorian, you get that somehow.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only thing in the universe where they actually feel small and they don't know how something happened. They don't have the answers for everything. But for me, it's like, I just give me all the dessert and all the junk food. It makes me smile. I think it's the best C-3PO performance in all 9 movies.
See, this is what I'm saying though, is I've sort of reached the point in my life where I'm done defending why I like the things I like. I am allowed to like what I like. It doesn't have to be highbrow. Like Godzilla movies. I grew up with Godzilla movies. Tell me that old school Godzilla movies are highbrow, intense, in-depth stories. Oh, here you go. Yeah.
We got Minya.
Space Godzilla.
Same movie.
Yeah. This might be a different Minya. Rumors there, by the way, that in the next Legendary picture, Space Godzilla is coming up. Can't wait. Anyways.
Is that happening?
Supposedly.
Okay.
There's nothing highbrow about old school Godzilla movies. It's monster fights. That's all. Dudes in costumes fighting each other on a set of collapsible toy cardboard buildings. We ate it up. I like it. Who cares?
So for me, I went and saw Godzilla -1, and I'm like,
oh God, so good.
This is amazing. This is art. This is actually pulled it off. And then like 3 or 4 months later, Godzilla X Kong, which I have the bucket, the popcorn bucket that I use as a trash can, that comes out, and they get King Kong with a mecha arm and stuff, and they're hovering in
zero gravity,
Hollow Earth. And I was like, because I was going into it, I'm like, how do you put this movie out after Godzilla -1 has won an Academy Award?
Yeah.
And then I went in there and I sat down, like, oh yeah, you have stupid monsters fighting each other, and I had a blast. And so that's for me, like, I can find something that I like in everything. I find stuff I like in Ryan Reynolds or Martin Campbell. I'll say Martin Campbell. I'll put that on him. On Martin Campbell's movie in 2010 or 11. But I can enjoy like Grant Morrison's run, which is like,
you lost me there, but okay.
There's enjoyable stuff. I think Liam Sharp's art is great, but
it's a beautiful art book.
I can enjoy the concept. There's stuff to enjoy in there.
Yeah.
But I can also like something like Narf.
Yeah. Agreed.
So for me, it's like, man, just when it comes to lanterns, just throw it at me. Just give me whatever. I'm all for it.
No, I agree with you, because we have Lantern Corps. One of the Lantern Corps members is a sentient math equation. One of them is a literal box. Another one is a bug, like
a volcano.
Yeah,
constantly.
Again, it's not that serious, but again, I just hope they get it right. That's
right.
all.
The fact that they mentioned Chip is wild to me.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, as serious as they're trying to make this, as true detective-y as they're trying to make this, like you mentioned a flying squirrel, Green Lantern, like you're bringing some of what we want to the table. I hope they deliver on that. I really do. How much of Hal's story do you think will be told in flashbacks? No idea.
I think honestly his origins, and that's it.
Yeah, we haven't heard any casting for a younger Hal. Could be under wraps. And if they do like a younger version of Hal as a Green Lantern, all that'll be green screen or in outer space. And so they probably are able to not announce that. Yeah, we want to see the Oath. The Oath has to be in the show.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to get
non-negotiable
all the Oaths. Yeah. I mean, that's like trailer stuff, like the Ryan Reynolds doing the Oath in that trailer. Yeah, I'm excited to see any Green Lantern in live action. It's been far too long since, I mean, Superman, but than like Jade on Stargirl.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get more than one season? I'll tell you this. I have this crew hat that says on the side of it for the Lanterns crew season 1. I think they do have a season 2 in mind, and hoping that they kind of get on it. And we're not like, it's not like Stranger Things where we have, or Severance where we have to wait a long time. I'm hoping that they're like ready to go with this stuff. So I don't know if we will, but signs point to yes. Curtis says he wants one per oath per episode, and we get all 8. Yeah, they got to show some constructs in the trailer, but I don't think the Argentinian trailer or that was shown in Argentina, I don't think anyone mentioned that there were constructs shown.
I bet that's still in post-production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And take your time. If you have to go to late summer to get things right, get it right. As much as I wanted the show to come out in like a couple weeks, just get it right. Just go out and get it right. Mosaic was the best Jon Stewart story ever. Do you agree? I haven't read it.
I know Dan thinks so over at Mosaic Comics.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, everybody should be subscribed to Dan.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, because of who wrote it and stuff like that, you're never going to see it collected again. I don't know if there's
a problem. Is Comixology used to be on there, and I usually go and get back issues on my iPad. Because I'm in a small apartment, I just don't have the space for it for long boxes and stuff. But anytime there's a sale, I'd go on and grab like back issues. I got the first 13 issues of Mosaic, read it, and then when I wanted to go get the rest of them, they were no longer available to purchase. So I can't even get them digitally.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because, here you go. Men of Tomorrow, Geeks, Gangsters, and the Birth of the Comic Book, a book about the history of comics written by Gerard Jones. So like stuff like that is you're not going to find stuff like this anymore out there.
I did an episode for my members recently, and I was like, it's fairly unforgivable, if not completely unforgivable. It's unforgivable.
It's unforgivable. Yeah.
But the thing is, in the eyes of the law, he served his time. I'm hoping that any victims got some sort of are doing better and not. I mean, the trauma I'm assuming is always going to be there, but it's like also like I think he's in the middle of doing his like a probation period, and it's like when that's up, like do we just like in the eyes of the law?
No, there are certain things there are certain things that are. No matter what the law says,
it's gross.
The law doesn't reflect our morality necessarily.
No. So, and I feel bad for like Pat Broderick.
I will say though, if you are interested in Mosaic and are curious about it, go watch Dan's channel because I think he's because of the controversy that is Gerard Jones. It's hard for Dan to dive deep into it. He hasn't figured out quite how he wants to do it, but he has talked about Mosaic and what it means to him on a couple of different videos. So if you're curious about Mosaic but can't find it, go watch some of Dan's content on it and see what you think. Because do I think it's the definitive
@ Mosaic Comics?
Yep. Do I think it's the definitive John stuff? It's hard to say because John doesn't have a lot of his own stuff. So just by the law of averages, probably.
Yeah. That's a rough one. Let's see if there's any. You shouldn't destroy one character to build another. Yeah, Highball is clearly a massive Hal Jordan fan, and I'm really hoping that Hal isn't done dirty. Like in Beware My Power, which I was just, geez Louise. Yeah. Like I like Hal. I really like Hal. Hal was my introduction to Green Lantern back when I was a kid watching Super Friends. And he was the main character when I started to read the comics in 1990 by Gerard Jones. And so I like Hal. Kyle's my favorite. I like Hal, but I'm not super precious about them, but also don't do what you did in Beware My Power. It was not good. I haven't covered it on the channel, but one of these days I'll rewatch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To build on what, because Highball was talking about how I was saying, like, I would love to see all of Hal's interactions and relationships and stuff like that, but do we have time for that when we're trying to build out John? I don't think not taking the time to focus on Hal is destroying Hal. I think if you purposely put things against him to build up John, yes, but not having enough time to flesh out all those relationships because you're trying to focus on your main guy, which you've chosen to be Jon Stewart, is not going to actively destroy Hal. I don't think. But doing something, because Beware My Power is the perfect representation of that, because we shat on Hal just for the sake of the story. But if we don't have time, but everything we get of Hal is true to character, true to where he's at in his life, and so on and so forth, great. Just don't tear him down to build John up. In the same way I mentioned much earlier in our conversation that they did with Simon. They tore Simon down at the early part of Green Lanterns to build Jessica up, and then had to backpedal and build their relationship back up because Simon was a bit of an ass to Jessica. So
was Sam Humphries the original writer on that run?
I don't have it on the shelf.
I'm trying to remember. I think he might have. I don't know if he was or not.
Yeah,
because I remember really liking his writing on that when it was all about like the pancakes and all that stuff. We know Guy Gardner is going to be in Lanterns. Wonder if the uniform will be different.
No.
We did see a cardboard standee in universe. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it was a behind the scenes thing. WB said it was okay to post. It was literally a cardboard standee of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner holding up an energy drink that would be in like a liquor store. Like he's such a sellout. And so I know we're going to see him in the Lord, the Maxwell Lord outfit. But it's going to be so funny. Like I kind of want to see the classic look, but I want to see the classic look for everybody.
I hope his costume changes, but I don't think his costume is going to change because of the show. If Guy's costume is going to change, it's because he wants it to. So yeah.
I almost feel like if the Guardians were to tell Guy like, "Hey, you're neglecting your duties in Sector 2814. You're spending too much time in Metropolis with the Justice Gang," I could see him. Like when they show up, like putting on his, getting out of his Lord Tech. Okay, here's a good one, and I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon here. It's getting pretty late. Who would win? Godzilla versus Chip. I mean, Chip is flying down Godzilla's throat, right, and just taking him down from the inside.
I have a longer history with Godzilla than I do Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So maybe Godzilla.
I think I have about the same. Yeah, it's a tough call. I think, versus Chip. I mean, I'd love to see it.
Chip got taken out by a yellow dump truck.
I mean, it was yellow. So Chip versus King Ghidorah. Chip's toast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Clone Avenger says, hopefully Lanterns TV series leads to a big budget Lanterns movie. I'm fine. As much as I like movies, like I'm more excited that we're getting 8 hours of Green Lantern stories as opposed to like 2.5. So for me, I like comics. I like reading them monthly. So for me, like reading them or watching in installments, I'm just fine with.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can go to the movies and see a Green Lantern movie, I'm there night one. Hopefully sooner if WB gets me on some of these lists to see some of this stuff.
From your lips to God's ears, we're 17-year-old podcast, man, and we still don't have anybody's ears. So
I'm trying. I'm all for a movie. Casey, if you want to know more about Gerard Jones, just
Google his name.
Do a quick Google search. I'm not going to be chatting about that, but
yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Casey just looked it up. There you go.
It out.
It's a real quick search. Hal Jordan prequel series, that would be great. Oh, clicked the wrong one. I'd be down with that. Yeah, everyone's saying it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, season 2, is there potential of John and Kyle? Dude, listen, like I'm all for Kyle. I've heard this. I've been hearing this fan casting of Manny Jacinto as Nightwing, and that has me excited. I'm like, oh, he'd be great. Chip took down Superman in the Injustice comics.
What hasn't happened in Injustice?
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Thanks for coming by, Chad. Everybody should be listening to the Lantern Cast, and go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't post there as much as you do on. Yeah, but when you do, it's good stuff. It's
mostly just stuff that requires video, like talking about figures or a ring, or I do card unboxings occasionally and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I appreciate that. Yeah, but
yeah.
Other than that, though, it's still an audio-based podcast on Spotify and everywhere podcasts are. So,
yeah, and then just go ask Santa for one of these Kyle statues. Like, is Kyle your main dude?
So it changes. I prefer my top 3, though. Even that changes. Is Hal, Kyle, and Alan.
Okay.
I love
Hal statue would be good too, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's one Hal statue. Speaking of Chip, there's a Hal statue out there that actually has a chip on it that is actually really cool.
Sideshow. I think it's the Sideshow premium format. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Usually those like member exclusives or like if you're like early bird, like Chip seems to be the one to do because he's so small, and it's such a easy. Like, it's like fun little addition. KC says top 3 are Hal, Kyle, and Sodom. Sodom yet hasn't been around for a while.
No, he hasn't. I think last we saw him, he was like a senator or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm okay with some of the herd being thinned.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think that's it. Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays.
Whatever you celebrate, for me, Merry Christmas. I'm excited. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Speaking of steak dinners, I am going out with my wife and my sister to get a steak dinner. Flip-flop between Hal and Kyle. Kyle's always my number 1, but I do like Hal a lot. Man, thanks for joining me. I know it was like you were just in the chat, but anytime you're more than welcome to come on and chat Green Lantern, because it's a really good time to be a Green Lantern fan.
It's a great time.
Whatever issues anybody has with the books, I think it's fine because it's not the Grant Morrison run. It's a little more like the speed of the Jeff Johns era. I know that both Morgan and Jeremy are big fans of the Jeff Johns run, and I feel like it may not be up to that caliber, but that's a pretty high bar. But they're coming pretty close, and I'm really enjoying what they're doing with the characters I love and even the characters I don't love. So,
that's true.
Yeah. Happy Steakmas, everybody. Anything else? Lanterns Cast. I mean, everyone who's subscribed here should be subscribed over there.
They don't have to, but I appreciate that. I think 2026 because Mark's a big fan of movies, and I don't mean just the actual end product. He likes following production and tracking and audience scores and all that stuff. So every year we do a top 10 movies or top 5 movies we're looking forward to in the coming year. So that'll be our upcoming episode probably in 2026. And other than that, man, you, me, Will, everybody is trying to get the attention of the Lanterns production team to have somebody on, to be part of the press junket, to do something. We don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't care. Would I love to be the Lantern Cast because we were the first? Sure. But at the end of the day, if it's you, if it's Will, if it's Myron and Phil, if it's Donnie and Adam over with Emerald Echo, or if it's us, what I don't want is what happened with the CW when they announced that Supergirl was going to be a TV show. I remember a Twitter account popped up for someone who was going to make a podcast about the Supergirl TV series, and it had like 10K followers before the show was even out. So I just want one of us to get it, as opposed to some new show that pops up out of the woodworks, which we would welcome, of course. You know, we're not going to judge anybody. Of course. But that just appears out of nowhere, dedicated to the Lantern Show, and they get all the press stuff, and we who've been dedicating our time to this for years get left in the dirt.
If any combination of us get invited, like +1s across the board.
Yes.
+1s across the board. RC Aarron, our Karen, just subscribed.
Appreciate it.
And I will bring this up, and I didn't really want to dox myself, but here's a fun story. There's a place in Southern California called Clearman's. They do a bunch of steakhouses. And the reason why I want to bring this up is I'm going to this one is because one time my wife and I were at Clearman's, Northwoods Inn, in Southern California. And we were enjoying our meal. And I was looking at my phone, and I saw that Giancarlo Volpe, one of the executive producers on Green Lantern, the animated series, posted a picture that he was at Clearman's, Northwoods Inn. And I said, holy shit. And so we had somewhat of an online relationship by this time. And I got up from my seat. I said, I'll be right back. And I walked around, and him and his wife were sitting at a table at the bar, like waiting to be seated. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I had my ring on, and I think he was ring in his pocket. And it was magical. It was magical. I need to get that guy on. I need to get Giancarlo. He's such a cool dude. He's busy, and I've reached out to him. He said, yeah, as soon as I'm not busy. So one of these days we'll get him on, because Green Lantern the animated series, I believe, is still the best Green Lantern story outside of the comics.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, it's a magical place. It's a magical place. Thank you everybody for joining me. Chat, stick around for after the post-credit roll, and I'll do a couple more thank yous and stuff like that. But until next time, everybody, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.